Would you believe the average new car payment in America is over $750 a month right now? My dog Mally back there can't believe it either. That's almost $9,000 a year just for a car that's losing value the second you drive it off the lot. And what's even worse, over 60% of Americans are now living paycheck to paycheck. So why are so many of us locking ourselves into years of debt for something that's keeping us broke? So today, we're breaking down the real cost of high car payments. Not just the dollars and cents, but the hidden opportunity costs, the psychology behind why we overspend, and even some insider tips dealerships don't want you to know so you can make smarter car buying decisions. So let's start with the hard truth. Car payments are one of the biggest wealth killers for everyday Americans. And unless we're talking about collectibles or rare occasions like during the pandemic when you could sell used cars and actually make a profit, a car is a liability, not an asset. Now, I know most people need a car to get to work, take care of kids or other loved ones, including me. But are we making practical choices? The data says no. According to Experian, the average new car payment is about $750 a month, and used cars aren't much better at $530 a month. That's money that can be compounding in an investment account instead of vanishing into a depreciating asset. To put it into perspective, if you invested $750 a month for 5 years instead of making a car payment, at a 7% return, you'd have over $52,000 saved. Instead, most people end up with a car worth maybe half of what they paid for the second they drive it off the lot. So, if high car payments are so damaging, why do so many of us sign up for them in the first place? Well, let's address some external factors we can't control first. The car market is fluid. Political influences can certainly have an impact. Things like tariffs, laws adding incentives and credits or removing them, dealing with supply and demand issues, part shortages, the list can go on and on. Even accounting for all that, there are always practical options available. This is where psychological and behavioral factors come into play. Buying a shiny new car gives us a dopamine rush. We crave that new car smell, the feeling of status, the impression of success. Social comparison also plays a huge role. In fact, a 2023 Lending Tree survey found that 40% of millennials admitted to buying a car they couldn't afford just to look successful. Think about that. And dealerships know this. That's why they don't sell you on the car, they sell you on the monthly payment. They'll happily stretch the loan to 72 or even 84 months just to make it fit your budget and seem like an affordable payment. But in reality, you're trapped in debt far longer than you need to be. Here's something most people never consider when they're in that euphoric feeling of a new car. Car payments don't just cost money today, they cost you future opportunity. According to AAA, the average annual cost of owning a new car in 2023 was over $12,000. That's $1,000 a month once you add in gas, insurance, maintenance, registration, other fees. And I'm sure that number has only gone up since. Now imagine redirecting even half of that into investments. Over 10 years, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars lost. All because we either felt pressured or looking to fill that materialistic void to drive something newer, nicer, bigger than what we really need. All right then, so how do we escape the trap, you might ask? So let's talk about how to buy a car the smart way. There are a lot of great resources out there, including on this very platform, about how not to get taken for a ride, pun intended, by the dealer. Frankly, I wish I had done more research when I bought my first car a few years ago. Prior to that, I just inherited my dad's old rides, and so I had never gone through the buying process myself. I ended up getting a decent deal and avoiding some of the mistakes I'm about to discuss, but I could have been even better prepared, no doubt. So this is a summary of what I consider some of the most helpful tips that I've seen. Number 1, focus on the out-the-door price, not the monthly payment. Dealerships want you to think in terms of $400 or $500 a month, but whether that's a 60, 72, or 84 month loan completely changes the cost. In fact, the most common loan term today is now 6 years and increasing. Another rule of thumb that I love comes courtesy of the Money Guy Show. You can find them on YouTube or podcasts. They're great. They say that your monthly expenses should not be more than you're saving and investing each month. I think that's prudent advice. Always negotiate the out-the-door price, sticker price plus taxes, fees, and add-ons. Number 2, keep your trade-in a secret until the end. If you tell the dealer up front, they'll use it to hide numbers in the deal. Negotiate your purchase price first, and then bring up that you have a trade-in afterwards. They might not like it, but it's better for you, and they still want to make that sale. Number 3, check financing outside of the dealership. Dealers often mark up interest rates. For example, if a lender quotes 4.5% to them, they can legally tell you 5.25% and then pocket the difference. Credit unions and banks can usually beat financing from the dealer. So shop your loan first, come in pre-approved, and then that flips the power dynamic in your favor a bit. Extended warranties can sound like they bring peace of mind, but they're also huge profit centers for a dealership. Dealers might say things like, new cars have a lot of electronics and different parts that aren't covered by your standard warranty. Those are just fear tactics. While it's more expensive to repair cars now, it's no longer a novelty for electronics and things of that nature to be inside of your car. They're made well and will either be covered by your warranty or a free recall repair in case something really goes wrong. Instead, try setting aside a car repair sinking fund. That way you have money to cover any repair and not just what might be underneath that warranty. Next, pay close attention to when you buy your car. The end of the month, the quarter, or the year are great times. Salespeople have quotas to hit, and they really want to hit it towards the end of those 3 things. Go on a weekday if you can, and even better, near closing time. Salespeople are still people. They want to go home just like you. When there's time to change over to a new model in the late fall or winter time, holiday weekends like Memorial Day or Labor Day when you see those sale commercials. If you're patient, you can save thousands of dollars. Next, should you ever lease? Most people lease for 1 or 2 reasons. It looks more attractive with smaller payments, or they can get a newer, nicer vehicle more often. But it's actually like renting with restrictions and serving as an outlet for you to signal that you're doing well in a material way that doesn't really matter. The average lease is between 2 to 4 years, and the average payment is about $586 a month, according to Experian. After 3 years, you spend over $21,000 and own nothing. Unless you're writing it off as a business expense, or you're going to be in a location for a year or 2, leasing is a financial drain. Don't do it. You don't need a new car every couple of years, the same way you don't need a new iPhone every release. And pay attention to the total cost of ownership. It's not just the payment. Factor in gas or charging costs, insurance, repairs. If you buy a Benz or BMW, expect to pay more for tires and part repairs. AAA puts the total cost of owning a car at about $12,000 a year. A healthy rule is to keep all car expenses under 15% of your take-home pay each month. So some of these strategies might seem obvious or like small wins, but together they can save you tens of thousands of dollars. Money that can actually go towards building your financial future. So at the end of the day, a car is supposed to get you from point A to point B. Yes, it's okay to like what you drive and have fun doing it. We all want to do that, but be reasonable. The real cost of car payments isn't just the money, it's the opportunities that you're giving up as well. So next time you're tempted by a quick upgrade or to stretch yourself for something more than you need or can actually afford, ask yourself, do I want short-term status or long-term freedom? I know what I choose. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like so more people can see it, subscribe, and drop a comment if you have any more money-saving tips to share. I'll see you next time.